Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Wednesday, September 5th. And you can see from our picture we've had a lot of rain here over the last 15 to 20 days, over 6¼ inches of rain here. In some areas off to our west and northwest have picked up over a foot of rain during that time. And for the headlines, we're going to be hot and humid one more day, maybe temperatures up around 90. I think from areas like Lansing to possibly Henderson, Blissfield, Jasper area, maybe up into the Middleton, Breckenridge area, but I think we may stop in the upper 80s. But certainly it's going to be a warm, sticky, humid day again with dew points up in the 70s. But we'll have a pretty good southwest breeze develop out ahead of that cold front, and that's going to bring those thunderstorms in here later on today into tonight. And again, our next system we're going to keep a close eye on is going to be the remnants of what was Hurricane Gordon, now Tropical Storm Gordon, as it's made landfall across the western peninsula of Florida, moving into Mississippi, and eventually it'll be a tropical depression as it moves up towards the Ohio Valley into southern lower Michigan as it looks right now. May track right across parts of the area. Yesterday we had a high of 89.8. That's the third day this summer that we've been either 1 or 2 tenths short of 90, and we've had 13 days above 90. No precipitation fell yesterday, and we're up to 1.23 inches of rain so far for the month, and it's very early, and you can see we're almost 13.5 degrees above normal so far for the first few days of the month. Again, we'll cool down into the 70s and 50s here once we get into Thursday and right on through much of next week. And again, the biggest thing is going to be is whether or not we see a tremendous amount of precipitation with that remnants of Gordon. Temperatures out there this morning mainly in the low to mid 70s. The warm spot 75 at Henderson, the cool spot 70 over at Newaygo. And the next slide you can see in the black numbers there, no precipitation since midnight across the entire area. And again, this area I've got shaded right now looks like the area most likely to be affected by the potential for heavy rain from Gordon. And again, we'll keep an eye on this. It's still plenty early enough. It could shift further to the north or it could shift farther to the south. And we show you the storm track expected here in the next couple of slides here. On the radar map this morning, you can see area showers and thunderstorms out ahead of that cold front, which the Canadian high pressure system is going to try to push south. As that front sags to the south of Michigan, we've got moisture coming up from Gordon, and again, that'll reach us by late in the weekend, so it's going to be a slow mover over the next few days off to the northwest. It'll eventually get caught up in this system and be pulled in, and then that moisture swinging counterclockwise into the cold air will give us our chance to squeeze out lots of moisture here as we get into, I think, Sunday and Monday looks like the best period for that. On the satellite view over the last 3 days, you can certainly see our system moving across Florida, then making landfall as it got into the western portions of Florida. And again, our front is holding itself off to the northwest, producing lots of heavy rain off into portions of Iowa and Wisconsin, up into the UP. And again, that sags south, and we'll get some showers and thunderstorms here later on today. And then that cold front will move just off to the south as we watch that tropical system move up and over top of it. If we look at the next slide, you can see this one pretty much I can attribute to Weather Bell. We'll give them all the credit in the world for this. Of course, I did steal one of Joe Bastardi's great lines, a ridge over troubled water. And of course, who better to signify that than Simon and Garfunkel? And basically, you have that ridge that pumps up over the east during this time of the year. And we talked about that at Marlette at their fall Customer Appreciation Day, talking about the ridge over troubled water. What happens to do is it'll steer these storms right towards the U.S. when you get that big ridge up over this area. That's always trouble when you get into the months of September and October. And this will be Hurricane Florence, and we're going to have to watch this system very closely by the end of next week. Not this week, but the end of next week. We could have some real hurricane threats across the southeast U.S., possibly up into the mid-Atlantic. And again, that's a ways off for now, but something we're going to keep an eye on here as we get into next week. On the forecast map, you can see that front off to our northwest with heavy rains just out ahead of it. And again, that moisture coming up from this storm will move into this area as it only slowly moves off to the southeast here over the next 48 hours. And then by tomorrow morning, that system will be sitting just off to our south. Again, the moisture ever so slowly moving up with this tropical storm. And again, here's the storm track as we expected by Monday, right now forecasted to be near Kalamazoo and then move up through the Saginaw Valley into northern Lake Huron. And again, to that storm track and just to the south, I think is where the heaviest rains will fall. So southeast lower Michigan, you may get a lot of rainfall here over the next 5 days. And if we look at how much rainfall could fall over the next 7 days, you can see the heaviest rainfall is going to be across the southern part of the state from around Lansing south. But again, this could shift either way. But even to the north, pretty decent rainfall is expected from this system. And look at some of these rainfalls up to 8 inches. And we got to watch that moisture, as it could easily track across lower Michigan as well. So something we're going to keep a close eye on here. And if we look at the forecast again today, another hot, steamy day out there, very high humidities and dew points, very uncomfortable in the upper 80s to maybe 90 in some areas. And then look at the comfortable temperatures dropping into the 70s and even some upper 60s for highs. And again, we may have to lower some of these low temperatures, but certainly in the 50s. And again, our two best chances of precipitation are going to be this afternoon and tonight, late this afternoon, probably more like this evening into tonight. And then again, as we get into, I think, late Saturday night, Sunday, and extending into Monday. And again, we'll have to watch. If we're going to err and miss a storm, it's probably going to be to the south. Again, southeast lower Michigan, southwest Ontario, chance for 2 inches or more rain is certainly in the cards here as we get into late this weekend and early next week. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.